Hey guys, what's going on? It's been a while, I haven't made a video in a long time, so thought I'd make one today on this gloomy, rainy day outside. So I just wanted to make a video about albums that I think are underrated that I have in my collection. Some people might not agree with me, but I don't really care. I'm just giving you my opinion. So I'll start off here. I got CDs and records. So start off with Allison, self-titled. I don't know why people don't like this one all that much. It just kind of gets under the radar after they did the After Dirt. But I don't know, I think this is a really great album. It has songs like, I really like Again, Goddamn, Frogs, just crazy, really good songs. I don't know, I think that should get more attention than it does. Next we got Sonido Day album from '56. It's a really good vocal jazz record from that time, and I feel like people just don't talk about her that much, so it's another one you should check out if you haven't. Next we got Buzzcocks, Love Bites. It's a great punk rock record, and this is just an underrated band in general. I feel like they didn't get enough light in their time, the late 70s. And I don't know, the song Ever Fallen in Love is just amazing. I really love that song. This whole album's really good, so check that out too. Check them out in general. Next we got David Bowie, Man Who Sold the World. This is definitely, I don't know why people don't really talk about this one either. This is from 1970, but I don't know, it's a really good record. And title track, obviously Nirvana covered that in their Unplugged. It's kind of how I found out about it, that song in general. But really good album, I like it a lot. Next, Dark Throne, Ponzer, I think that's how you say it. But this is a really good black metal record, and it kind of gets blown under the radars because of released the same year as Transylvanian Hunger. But this one's still really good, really gritty, hateful, raw kind of black metal there. So next we got this Desire. Most people probably never even heard of these people, this lady before. This is a really good record. I've said it in my other videos, but I found about this from the movie Drive. But this is really good. It's kind of like 80s synthy disco type of stuff going on. It's really cool sounding album. I like it a lot. Pretty short, but it's really good. Kind of like, yeah. Next is Echo and Bunnymen. It's their debut, Crocodiles. This kind of gets on these, I don't know if this band really people don't know too much about them in general. They're a good post-punk band. This came out in the '80s, so definitely should check that out if you haven't. It gets their later stuff got a little bit more popular, but that one's really good. I like a lot of debut records. I just think they just go hard on them. They just come out and I don't know how to explain it. They're ready to go, and they're new to it and everything. So they don't sell out or anything. They're just kind of making true music at that time. Next we got Foo Fighters, One by One. I don't know why I've looked up people talking on forums about this, and they always rank this really low on their favorite records by this band. I don't understand why at all. I really like this record. It's got Times Like These and All My Life and Low. It's just a good rock record, modern rock record. So don't understand the hate like on most of these things. Next we got one of my favorite records of all time. I love this so much. Pleasure Principle by Gary Newman. This amazing kind of synthy new wave from '79. It's just It just sounds so cool, spacey, crazy, cool stuff going on there. I just really like that album a lot. Next we got Gorguts, Considered Dead. It's a great death metal record from the early 90s. Their later stuff gets kind of like, because they kind of change their style later on, it gets more noticed in that community than their early stuff. It's like people say it's just a typical death metal record, but I think they killed it on this album, honestly. So it's really good. Next we got Green Day. It's their debut record, 39 and Smooth. Definitely underrated. I don't know why people don't talk about that one. It's just a really good pop punk record, and obviously Dookie is kind of their kind of breakthrough album, but I think this is a really great album too, and people should check it out. Next we got Herbie Hancock. My Point of View. It's the early 60s, kind of jazz. It is jazz. It's definition of jazz. He's a great piano player, and his later stuff is different, kind of like a funky stuff coming on later, but it's really good jazz, kind of just typical good jazz from that time. Next we got another of my favorite records of all time. It's Iggy Pop, The Idiot. This is just, I just think this is his first solo, and him and obviously David Bowie produced that album, and I just think they killed it in the Berlin area. In that time, it's just that year 77. They just released so much great music in that year. It's incredible. But yeah, definitely underrated because The Lust for Life came out the same year. But I don't know, people should definitely give it more attention to this one. It's just, I absolutely love everything about this album. Just coming in with Sister Midnight, and then it ends with Mass Production. It's just an incredible record. Next we got more black metal, Judas Iscariot. This is his first record, and his second record is really good too. And I don't understand why a lot of black metal people don't really like this guy too much, but I like the music. I think it sounds awesome. It's really just classic black metal music. It just sounds really good. Next we got Kanye's Yeezus, 2013. Yeah, I mean, the lyrics are definitely stupid on this album. It's not a very good lyrical album, but I think the production is amazing, and all the sounds and beats that he put into this album is really good. And just obviously it's really simplistic cover, just the disc basically. So I like that. And next got Led Zeppelin's Presence, 76. Just kind of like when they were coming down, kind of, but I still think this is a great rock record from that time. Kind of gets, people don't really talk about it much either. I don't understand why, but here we got Mac Miller, Watch Movies with the Sound Off. This just, when he was changing his sound and getting kind of weird, and people didn't like that, and they liked the earlier traditional fun hip hop stuff, but this is just really good. I just like that darker kind of experimental type of stuff going on. It just sounds really good. I usually like stuff that most people don't like. I mean, there's definitely some exceptions to that, but usually that makes me like the music even more when other people don't. Next we got Mellow Hype, Numbers, 2012. The whole Odd Future stuff going on here. This is a really dark, just cool sounding album. I used to listen to it all the time with my friends, and it just brings you back. It's good stuff. So we got Metallica, Justice for All. People might say this is not underrated, but I think it is, just kind of because all the praise for Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets, which are great records, but it's just my favorite, and I just really like the sound, the distortion, and on this, just the tone of the guitars on this album is just so hard, and it's just amazing. Just every single song on here is just incredible. I kind of grew up listening to this album with my dad, so. Next we got Mgmt. It's their self-titled, it's their third record. Definitely an acquired taste. Just kind of weird, experimental, wonky stuff going on with this, kind of psychedelic. But I think it's really good, and I used to listen to it all the time. I just think it's kind of good to just sit down and kind of space out to it. A bunch of weird stuff going on, but it's good. Next we got Michael Jackson's Dangerous. I don't think this one gets talked about as much either. Obviously it was like Thriller and Bad and all that. But this came out in 91, pretty sure, so it was a little bit later. But this just has really good stuff on it. Like, I don't know, it just gets you dancing. It's all funky and crazy. I love that style. Just feel good music, just makes you happy, and just it's good stuff. Next we got Neutral Milk Hotel, Airplane Over the Sea. This is a great indie record from the late 90s, and definitely gets overlooked a lot. I think people should definitely check this out. It's a really good record. Next we got one of the most hated bands of all time, Nickelback. I really like this record. I grew up listening to this as well, and I mean, I think it's just good. I mean, there's some corny stuff to it and all that, but I just think the music still sounds pretty good, and I like it, so. Next we got Phil Oakes, I Ain't Marching Anymore. Came out 65. Good old folk record about during the Civil War, I'm not talking about Vietnam. It's just a really good record, and political kind of stuff going on, so it was good. Stephen King got me on that, and he mentioned in one of his books and turned me on to that record. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. Next we got Pink Floyd's debut, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Came out in 67. Only one that has Syd Barrett the whole time on it, leading it. Just a really good kind of psychedelic rock record, and just people should really check it out, and people don't really talk about it that much either. So they're all talking about the later stuff, Dark Side of the Moon, Animals, The Wall, all that stuff, which is all great stuff too, but I really like this record a lot. It's really cool sounding. Next we got Queen, self-titled debut. Came out in 73. It's just a really good rock record, classic rock. I mean, people don't really talk about this in the first two albums, self-titled albums. So, definitely worth checking out if you haven't, which most people probably have. I mean, Queen's a really popular band, but. Next we got Smith's debut, self-titled as well. I absolutely love this record. I love all their music, but they just made amazing music in those 4 years they were around. And but this one just blows me away still. Every single time I listen to it, just feel good music again. Just good post-punk feel. It's just really good. I just definitely check out the Smiths if you haven't checked out the Smiths, because they're kind of an underrated band in general. Got Sonic Youth, Bad Mood Rising, 85. It's definitely acquired taste as well. It's just kind of a noise rock, basically, is what they are, and they just this is kind of definition of noise rock right here. It's kind of creepy, weird, kind of just all the songs flow with each other in a way, and just a bunch of noises and stuff, and it just sounds cool to me. So next we've got another 70s band, that Sparks. It's their self-titled. It was called something else before, like when they released it something differently, but this is a pretty good kind of like glam rock type of stuff going on with this, and they made some like new wave stuff later on down the line. I think they're an underrated band. I think people should check them out. It sounds pretty cool. It's a little bit different than your traditional rock music, classic rock from that time. Next we got Suicide's self-titled debut once again. This is just a crazy sounding record. It's just so wild and out there. It's insane. I just love the tone of everything. Just kind of like, I don't know exactly how to explain it. You just gotta listen to it. It's so good. Next we got a record. This is the last one. It's Tough Low. Sunshine Kitties. It was just released last year. I just think it's a really good pop record, and I don't hear many people talking about it, so just check that out too. But that's all I got. So I guess I'll see you guys later.